some slides that cover a variety of issues, but at the very top of that list is the school and getting that school built. And so we brought Eaton Dunkelberger to come and run through some slides and talk through the school with you. Eaton is the CEO of the Community Foundation of Northern Nevada, based out of Reno. And we made a decision several months ago to pay for the school, put it into the foundation, and have the foundation manage the construction of the school. And that helps us in a variety of ways, and we've been working through that system now for several months, maybe 6 months or so. And so I'll stop there and just turn it over to Eaton to give you an update on how the school's going.
Great. Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Great. So as Tim mentioned, my name's Eaton. I'm the lead the Community Foundation of Northern Nevada, and I thought I'd just talk briefly about what a community foundation is, what we do, kind of why we're involved, then talk about some of the construction milestones that have been met so far, and then what's coming up next, both in terms of the next couple months, because there's going to be a lot happening probably in the next 45 days, and then what happens to get ready for the 2027-2028 school year. So does that sound good? Okay, great. If you want me to talk about something else, I'm good to do that too, so feel free to ask. So first thing I'll just mention, the Community Foundation. There's over 900 community foundations across the country. They're all 501c3 nonprofits, and they operate independently to help grow and improve charitable giving for the communities they serve. So you can do that by helping make charitable giving more efficient, simple. You can also do that by making charitable giving more effective, so really up-leveling critically important projects for local communities, and then bringing people together to solve challenges. So like having a school come out of the ground, for example, would be an example of that. So I'll just give you a sense of, I put this slide in here to give you a sense that we're not kind of a flash in the pan, but we've been operating for 28 years. We've delivered over $200 million into Northern Nevada over those 28 years. Additionally, we've granted over $11 million in scholarships, with almost 90% of those going solely to Nevadan students. We manage over $200 million of charitable assets for a wide variety of entities across Northern Nevada, across 300 funds. And it's not on this slide, but I think often we've been called upon to build infrastructure for local communities, so that we recently finished a 300-unit affordable housing complex in Reno. We're helping another donor build 20 single-family homes for an affordable home ownership project. We're upgrading a fire station in another rural community in Northern Nevada. So this is something that we do on a fairly regular basis. So if that provides some comfort as to who we are or what we're doing, I wanted to provide that background. So let's talk about construction. So I won't read this laundry list, and I think we have some printouts if anybody needs it, but most of the last 6 months has been trying to get through design, so that when we got to 100% design, we could put this out to an RFP, get a solid fixed price bid from contractors, and select a contractor and press go. So all this work that's on this slide are things that are kind of pre-design or design work to get to a place where we've got the 100% design. And if you want me to come back to this or answer questions on it, I will. But I think this next slide is a little more important, which is in March, we did a walkthrough with potential contractors. So walking through the bidding, looking at the site, those types of things. We did complete 90% design and got initial RFPs and budget proposals. And so all that, really important component of that is when 90% design was complete, we also shared it with the school district to make sure we're all kind of moving in the same direction. And all the bidders' cost models are within the current budget, which was really important. So we could then finalize that last 10% of design and send it out for best and final offers. So we did receive those, we opened it on April 29th. We received all the bids, and we're just waiting to make a selection on a general contractor. So, next steps. Before we can sign an agreement with the contractor, we have to finalize our agreement with the school district so that everything that's gonna be in that school is really clearly outlined and documented, so the contractor can finalize their contract with us. And this says May 2026, the next school board meeting is actually June 9th, so we're aiming for that date for the final gift acceptance agreement with Humboldt County School District. Essentially, the day after that, we intend to sign the contract with the general contractor, so think of that as like June 10th to June 11th for the construction contractor bid award. We have submitted all the permits as of early April. We're expecting to get those all back by June, so that we think the well drilling contractor will be on site in early June. We have to wait to have the contract signed by the school district to allow us to go onto the land, but that should be mobilized. That will be the first thing that gets started, and then we anticipate the general contractor will mobilize in June, which would likely be the second half of that month. It's a pretty fast construction, not pretty fast, it is a fast construction period between June and then finalizing in July of 2027, right? That's 13-ish months. We're expecting to complete that in July, also get the facility use permits in July to transfer the school on August 1st of 2027, so 14 months from now, so that we can be open and ready for the kiddos for that start of the school year. I can leave this up or I can go back to other slides, but I wanted to share where we're at, overview, those types of things, and also open up to any questions either about the community foundation, about the process of building the school, those types of things. One thing I didn't say is we're really excited. We're right on the forefront of actually breaking ground and starting to bring the school out of the ground, which will be really exciting. So.
There's a pause, clearly. I'll keep going on other things about the project, but if you think of questions on the school or want to revisit stuff, we'll circle back.
Are we done with this one?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, sir.
You know, the water for it, where you get the water rights?
So the water rights have been transferred to Lithium Americas, and when we from Lithium Americas, and we're going to transfer that to the school district alongside the school. So we're actually, yeah.
That application's been made.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks. If there's any other questions on the school, I'm happy to answer them.
Oh, it's different deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about how Thacker Pass. We're going vertical. If you haven't seen it, please take a look, because it's changing rapidly and it's game on right now. This is just a picture to show you how much it's significantly changed. That was taken, the top shot was taken in July, as the slide says, and then this is just a recent picture. Tanks are being put together, they're being built. Most of the tanks on site are build-in-place tanks. We've got administrative offices going. In fact, this is probably about a week old, and now all these pedestals are full. That's just a function of craning in these modular buildings, but they're all in place and being shelled out. A warehouse is going in. That's our filtration building. Back here is the chemical, they call crystallization plants. In the foreground right here is where our sulfuric acid plant is going to be built, or is being built right now. We've done over 2.5 million hours on site. This is changing daily. 13 plus full-time employees on site. I think we crossed 1,400 yesterday. So it's escalating. We're on our way to about 2,000 employees by the end of the year. And then it'll come down, you know, that's the crest. In fact, I have a chart on that. We're working on a lot of logistics issues. The Middle East has become an issue. A lot of our steel is coming from the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and was intended to go into the Strait of Hormuz and be shipped to either the Port of Portland or the Port of Oakland and come to Thacker Pass. Instead, now it's being trucked across Saudi Arabia to the Red Sea and making its way here. We're working on second floors now, so we're pouring, actually it's been poured concrete in the filtration building, and the third floor is not too far away. There are only 3 floors in that building. The first E-house got put in place yesterday. An E-house is a control room, and they're the way we designed them, they were pre-assembled. Had a vendor did the whole E-room, got put on a truck, sent to Thacker Pass, and has been put in place. This is it here. That was, I think, yesterday. And all that means is that once you have the control room in place, you can start running cable and you can start doing electrical work. So that's part of the upswing or uptick in hiring will be electricians. That's the next big phase. This is the construction curve. It's really small font, but the peak is right October, November, December, January. It starts coming back down, and we start commissioning part of the plants all in here. And once we get to around September next year, we'll be in production. Not full scale production. I think that often gets misconstrued. We'll take all of 2028 to ramp up to full scale production. I point out the pipe racks because you're probably seeing them. The pipe racks, we're really very, very lucky to have a company like Carwill in Winnemucca because a major fabricator like that in a community this size is not super common, and they're exceptional. So the reason we're making pipe racks is because our ore starts out as dirt, clay, but it gets turned into, the first step is it gets turned into a slurry. So our entire process is dealing with liquids, not solids, and predominantly. And so they go from step to step to step through piping. And so the racks that piping are on are highly fortified, major pieces of our infrastructure, and they're all being prefabricated in Winnemucca and trucked out here. I was out driving back into town on Tuesday and for the first time encountered an escort coming up. I got to see what that looked like, and we got the hell off the road fast. But it only took a couple minutes, and then we were back on the road. There are 100 of these, and we will be done delivering those by the end of summer. We're trying to get them in pods. The most, if we can cluster them together, that brings the impact on the road or to travelers on the road way down. So we're really trying to do that. We're not in control of that. It takes off-duty officers, state police, who are working overtime for us to do those escorts. And so coordinating that, they're coming from all over the state, Vegas, Elko, Reno, local, and that's one of the pieces. So that has to align with NDOT's permit. And when we get those all aligned, we ship some out. So it's generally calendared between now and August, but it deviates quite a bit. The other thing that the pipe racks are for is that our utilities will go on it. We'll even have steam in some places, water, that kind of stuff. Other big things you're going to see on the road, it's not just pipe racks. This is the burner for the sulfuric acid plant. We have crystallizing vessels that are coming out of Salt Lake City. And you think, okay, well that's easy, just send them down I-80, but they're too big for I-80. They because of the wildlife overpasses that we built on 80 and the Carlin Tunnel, you can get around the Carlin Tunnel, but that's another complication. And then, I didn't know this till now, but there's 200 miles through the salt flats where you can't pull off. And that trio has created a route that's gonna go up into Idaho, through Oregon, and down from Oregon with our crystallizer, 12 crystallizer vats. This is the second floor of the filtration plant. It's dry. I walked on it earlier, or I guess it was last Thursday, and steel keeps getting put in place. From a construction standpoint, it's really a marvel because there is a crane swinging at almost any hour or any time of the day, delivering a piece of steel to be put in place. Our tanks are going up. They're being welded and sealed. Just some more shots of progress. Conveyor belts are starting to be installed. Just to go back, this filtration building again, the filter presses will actually go on the second floor, and before they do the third floor, those will be craned into place. Just showing you some pictures. We've already covered this, so. So the fence is something that we are still working on and committed to. It's going to happen. Just today, I got another email from our cultural survey consultant who says that there was a new realignment last week. They went out, updated their survey. They're putting their report together. That will be done by Tuesday, submitted to the BLM. We expect the BLM to sign off on that by the end of the week and give us the ability to go out and get a contractor and get that done. It's taken an amazingly long time. I was thinking about, how is it that we could get that done? But of course, it took us probably 7 years to get, more than that, to get Thacker Pass. So I started saying, well, Jesus Christ, we got Thacker Pass done. Why can't we get this fence done? The fence will get permitted a lot faster than Thacker Pass did. And we're on track to have it in place and done by the third quarter of this year. I put this slide in here because we'll probably, this is not private information, so we'll get you this presentation. This is all the details of what we've gone through to get the fence done. And we wanted you to have those timelines so you can see that there hasn't been idle time. We're moving on it. We're building a limestone quarry. It's down by the Happy Creek Ranch, Happy Creek Station. We're on the north side of 140, right in here. There's a limestone deposit there. We have the rights to it. We can either buy lime. Lime is essential for our process to neutralize our tails, and it's used in the extraction process. So, and it's sold throughout Nevada. There's vendors, Graymont, Lavoist sells lime. But if we can mine it ourselves right close to Thacker Pass, it's a great opportunity for us. So we're proceeding with permitting that project, and we'll keep you up to speed on that as we go. We've acquired the water for it, and we're moving forward with that project. Yes, ma'am.
Back on the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, before you switch. How are you, if you are handling the cattle that have already been hit on the highway and that will likely continue to be hit before the fence goes up? Is there a plan to
Yeah.
handle that? And have
You
you discussed
want to
that?
take that?
Can you repeat the question again?
She asked, what are we doing about the cow kills? And we've hit cows. And when we say we, it's somebody involved with our project has hit cows multiple times. And we don't take it lightly. We're looking at it from that is a life-threatening accident. Nobody's been hurt yet, but we have got to move fast on that fence. And so Maria's I'll let you just
Okay,
go. I'm
so
sorry.
there's two ranchers that have really been impacted by the cow strikes. And so just working with them to get the list of what they've already been reimbursed for with insurance companies. We found that insurance companies they don't move very fast. And so what we're doing is just taking the lead, and we'll be able to pay for those cattle and pay the rancher directly, and then we'll get reimbursed. So right now, what we're working on, and these two ranchers know this, what we're working on is to get an agreement in place with them so that we can move forward with payment. So shouldn't be too much longer, but we will pay those ranchers for every cow that was hit.
That agreement's important to us, because LAC, Lithium Americas, has not hit a cow, knock on wood. But we get that we created the traffic that hit that cow.
I've got a question, excuse me, on the line trucks, how are they gonna come? What's their-
95.
What's their route?
140 to 95 to
Oh,
293.
traffic, okay.
Yeah.
I was asked too, how many trucks a day will that be?
I'll have to look that up. I don't know, but I'll get that number for you. But keep in mind that truck traffic is gumming up 95 one way or another, whether we buy it on the market or mine it ourselves. So there will be no net change in truck traffic.
Yeah, but if you're at Happy Creek, you can go through 9 Mile.
Yeah.
No, I think the people in Kings River really made it clear they didn't
Oh.
wanna have that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true, that's
I
true.
think it's better for them to stay on the paved road.
That's
if
true.
possible. And I feel like last time we talked about it, it was about 15 trucks a day. I mean, it wasn't a tremendous amount.
I get that right. I think you're right. Right. You probably nailed it. I think that's all I have. Oh, yeah, we just want you to know that we've started the transload facility. There's some pictures of it here, I think. This is construction progress. We're clearing, grubbing. Rail starts getting put in place in the next couple of weeks. I think I had some pictures here. Yeah, so they've made a lot of progress since they broke ground, and it's coming together. That's on the same timeline to be in place for operations at the end of next year. I think that's it for this slide. Yeah, that's it. So we're happy to talk about any topic that you like, or answer any other questions that you might have. Yes, sir.
So how are you planning on like redoing that section of 140 with how narrow it is?
We're permitted to use 140 as is. Yes, sir.
On the traffic, first off, 95% of the people out there are good, but we complain about the 5% that aren't so good. But we've had issues with buses following like super close on Kings River Road, and we've slowed down like a lot to try and make it like to 35 miles an hour, and they won't pass. Is there a restriction, and I don't know if you know, can the buses not pass, or is there are they prohibited from passing, or you know?
I don't know the answer to that, but that's a good question, and we'll ask that. So you're saying that they're getting slowed down by somebody else, and they need to just move around and get going.
Well, they're behind us and they're falling.
Edward.
And this is, again, we're not talking about every bus. We're talking,
Yeah.
I've had these issues a few times where they're falling like dangerously close.
Okay.
And we've got cattle on board, so we're going slow. So
Okay.
I wait for a straight stretch, hoping they'll get past me, but then they won't pass. So I don't know if they're prohibited from passing or if it was just the individual driver.
I'm not sure, but that's a really good question. We'll ask that, and Maria's taking notes, so we'll follow up on that.
And I had a second question. I've been hearing that there's some people out there that are working that are like former inmates that are working there. First off, is that correct? And how many of those people are there?
I don't know the percentage, but yes, we are giving second chances to former inmates, and it's through the union. So when I say we, we've hired Bechtel hires subs, and the subs are obligated to work with the unions to put union employees on this job. And the unions have a program that is reintroducing former incarcerated individuals into the workplace. And so I'm curious what that number is too, and we'll find out what that is. If they can give it to me, I think
understand
so.
some of that might be confidential.
It might be.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep. Yes, sir.
To add on to this, kind of with how they fall behind you, is, like turning on the Valley Road, there's like, trying to slow down to turn on the Valley Road, there's been countless times that there's like locking up brakes behind you because they're about to smoke you. And I've had on my blinker for a quarter mile, because I'm driving a 20,000-pound truck to slow down
Yeah.
before I make the turn, but they still lock up the brakes right there.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. I think what we need to get this group is a hotline to us, because we will investigate each and every one of those cases. And Jean knows, because we've done it for her. If that happened, what we ask is for you to pick up the phone right at that moment, call us and say, this is where I was and this is the time. And that helps us actually go to that contractor and say it happened at 9 o'clock at this intersection and we can't have it. And a lot of the vehicles, not all of them, have cameras on them and monitors. All of our cars have monitors.
So the white trucks,
No, well, there's two people that drive the white trucks. Bechtel drives the canyons with the siren on it, and our allied security drives that too. And then there are a lot of full or light duty white, typically GMCs, and those tend to be Lithium Americas trucks.
so do we report the Bethel ones to you guys too?
Yeah, we'll take responsibility for all that. Yeah, if it's related to our project, you call us.
Yeah. And the more information you can get on the vehicles, the better. If you can take a picture of the driver or of the license plate or the exact time, the exact location, that really helps us out to nail down exactly who that might be.
And we have dismissed, for traffic violations, we are dismissing people. If it crosses a threshold that we find egregious, they're gone.
So, I called in, I talked to Maria, I texted her, emailed, whatever, it's been great, but it still continues. And I do notice that, I think it depends on who's out the side, who possibly could snoop on them.
Yeah.
And we still have, I think you guys are hauling every bit of gravel from Humboldt County up that road. And those gravel trucks are dangerous, and we're gonna start hauling hay. My husband's gonna be in that barrel bed, and he has every right to be there.
Yeah.
And Rick McClintock's guy is gonna be hauling hay, and he has every right to be there. And you can't see what's coming behind you in that rig.
Yeah.
But it is all of our right.
Totally agree.
And we also, I'm going to, Nick, we had a safety school for the truck drivers at Simpots. It was very good. And even Daryl, our son-in-law, said that was the best safety meeting we had out of everything, because of everything that was going on with Simpots. And I'll tell you, they taught me a lot. And it's just, when you're coming up on somebody too fast, you gotta slow down. Piece of cake. You're not going to force them off the road, otherwise you're gonna have a wreck. And I can't afford it. You can't afford it. I
No.
guarantee you cannot afford it.
Well, we're not looking at it from a financial standpoint. We're
I'm
looking
looking at it from, this is my livelihood on that road.
at your life. We're
And
looking
my
at-
life,
Yeah.
and the people that are my husband and my ex-son-in-law.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing all the time.
Gene, I hear you. I think.
And here's some dumb little son of a bitch in a gray car, peels out, going through that parking lot, and is throwing dust, peeling out, going behind the school and the church. And I don't think he slowed down for Duffy Road and went through the parking lot just to get ahead of the bus.
Yeah.
Do you think that's called, you got those guys working up there? I'm surprised you haven't had any more accidents than you have.
Well, we've got to work like hell to prevent it. And so some of the things that we've done to do that is we're paying to have the sheriff's department patrol more on our
And
line.
I haven't seen that little do that.
Yeah, it's out there.
I see it.
Oh,
I sit there and I put
she's talking about the radar.
my speedometer against it, and it's a little low.
Who do you think is on?
It is, I said,
I think certified by the state, no, I don't think your speedometer is.
okay.
It's
So it's
bad.
not-
I will say it's bad. Last time I was driving home, I was 65, reached 65. I go past the sign, it says 65, and it's flashing blue lights for like a quarter mile.
Yeah.
It said 65 on it, and it never just stopped flashing.
Always carry a smoker.
It would be nice to see down at the cattle guard when they're coming east and when they're coming past our house as a place of reference.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I'm
something.
waiting for that.
We'll bring.
I thought Lithium Americas was in charge of, and they bought it.
No, it's the sheriff department.
No, we gave it, we donated it to the sheriff's department.
Okay.
But like they're a team, so like if you just get, it might be easier to get a hold of sheriff instead of going 4 different routes. You get
Okay.
a call, be like, hey, I
So
got to see you.
Mariah, you're here. You're in the sheriff's department.
No, you gotta call sheriff. I just push a button.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I can hold
You
sheriff.
do, you are paid by the sheriff's office to work there. And then you can convey this to him.
She's off the clock.
I will relay the message,
Thank you.
but it might also help come through.
What was the last one? I missed it.
Just so you know that it's not there.
Oh, double check. Yeah, I got all these.
I do have faith.
Hey, keys, take care of, I got the keys for
Yeah,
you.
they wanted us to use it, but no, we don't have any plans to. Yeah, the question was, are we doing something with the flattened lot that's, just west of the Sawtooth? And the answer is no. I perhaps Bechtel will find a use for it at some point. We've been solicited on trying to utilize that, but right now we have no use for that.
Good.
From a school perspective, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it was really loud, and so like the whole entire building while you're trying to talk is shaking during the whole construction of it. And I'm sure it would be loud just with trucks trying to get in there and out, and it was really dusty, and it's right on the fence.
Yeah,
basketball
yeah,
courts,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
kids are right there. The fence is like, this tall.
Yeah.
So it's really not conducive if a school is gonna be right there. and
No,
gonna be hauling heavy equipment in and out.
yeah, I mean, the whole reason we wanted to move the school is to get away from traffic. So for us to put traffic, right there doesn't make sense.
So with regards to the traffic, so like many years ago, it was that the workers were gonna be getting on the bus to alleviate that
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah.
But there's obviously clearly, I don't know how many cars going back
Yeah.
and forth. So is there something where you're not allowed to tell them that it's a bus to site only?
Yeah, if we can't mandate that they get on the bus without paying everybody for the 2
Like a
hours.
stipend for
Uh,
that?
Yeah, that trip on the bus is is an incentive. That's part of their package, is that they don't have to, put wear and tear on their car. It's way safer, no fuel costs. They get to sleep. And predominantly, the workers are getting on the bus. But that is a problem that we're still grappling with. How can we incentivize all of them to get on the bus? It makes sense for a whole host of reasons. Everything from just fuel consumption to safety to traffic.
Well, even safety as you get closer to Winnemucca, by that time, they're ready to pass. So you've got, 5 pickups coming at you if you're coming from Winnemucca. We had this yesterday coming back from a field trip on the bus. And we happened to be coming right at 5, so it's just a bad time, getting back from a field trip. So then everybody's just very anxious getting closer to just keep passing and passing and passing there. But I didn't know if there was a way to, stipend.
Well, we're looking at it. The incentives that we are doing are built around competition. Micron's doing a big project in Idaho. There's data center work. I hear there's a data center coming to Humboldt County.
Yeah. Don't say that.
I cracked myself up.
Next time we'll be there for you.
So we're looking at how do we compete with those and wrapping in that whole transportation issue. Is there some cash that we can throw at that to make that problem go away?
Well, and as far as the school, you can't be watching your kids at recess and taking a picture of a car going 50 through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I can't get a picture. I can
Well,
tell you kind of what it looks like at the recess time.
Yeah, do your best. Call us and tell us what's the best way for the outreach to us.
Really just to call me or email me, and then I get the information to our site managers, and they do look at it right away. Yeah, but the more descriptive we can be, the more information I can provide is best, and then they can nail it down to mainly an exact person or a vehicle.
Can we have your contact information?
Yes. Do you want my number now?
Sure.
775-386-8185, and that's Maria Anderson. You can call or text. That's the best way.
Yeah.
I got a school question. Have you guys decided what you're gonna do on road maintenance on Key Road yet?
No, I don't know the answer to that, but we'll put that on the list. I don't know. I've never looked at that issue.
But you've been there, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
County.
Not right on. Okay.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Both ways, the way that we're not supposed to go, past the Jungle Road, through the Jungle Road sign, but
So
also.
that's how you want people coming up Valley Road?
Valley Road, yeah. Yeah. We'll get an answer for that. Yes,
Do you
ma'am?
have a printout of exactly what is going into the school, what you're providing?
We're gonna have a contract on that, and just to be clear with you, there are things that this school needs that are not gonna be in that contract, but we're working on an MOU with the school district to see if we can put in writing our commitment to making sure that the school is whole and something that the kids here will be happy to go to school. Well, we like the opportunity to come and talk with you, even Jean, in this setting, and that was more. Thank you.
Sorry, Jean.
But it doesn't have to. You call anytime. If you've got a question, something on your mind, call us. We get that the traffic thing is serious, and our numbers are going to go up. And Susan brought this up earlier. That reinforcing no tolerance on bad behavior on the roads has to be done daily, because
Yeah.
every day there are new people out there, and they're not as considerate about things, so we have to pound that into their heads, that we have no tolerance for bad behavior every day, because we're going from 1,400 people, we're gonna add another 600 people between now and Christmas.
Tim, is it possible for you guys to put something, like a window sticker or something on those, require them to have something that they're easily identified?
Well, we have a code of conduct that gets to what I think you're doing, that
Well,
everybody.
I'm trying to make it so that when, say
Oh,
someone
I
is,
know,
you know, cause there's a lot of close calls that happen all the time that people can't, report to anybody. Say someone is passing and not giving themselves enough time, and I have to hit the brakes to, let them get where they're going. And they're just because there wasn't an accident, or just because there wasn't a ticket, there's still a lot of kind of bad behavior.
you've raised this before, and
So is there some way that we can identify them more easily?
well, it's a bit of a scarlet letter kind of an endeavor, and
Well, then they should probably behave themselves.
totally, yeah, completely, yeah.
Well, it'd be like a parking pass, right?
Yeah, just like a permit.
I don't
I'll
know, I
circle
just see
back.
that going 70 miles an hour when you're trying to stay on the road.
What are those hologram ones you do?
Oh.
Citation and-
It's a union
also
issue
seems
that,
like, Tim, Rick brought it up a long time ago, that the road down through farm country to the cattle guard should be 45. And he says, once you get on the BLM, I don't care if you kill yourself. And, yeah, but what's interesting is there's a lot of guys that get to that cattle guard and floor it coming east at the end of shift. You can hear them clear from our house. They floor it. And, I agree with Susan, maybe having a sticker so you can identify what's flashing by you at a high rate of speed, trying to pass everybody. And I understand also, I asked Maria, how many people were riding the bus? And she told me around 30. And I do know
30 buses.
30 per bus.
Oh.
And I do know that those buses have either 56 or 60 seats, based on trying to
Yeah.
find who is a charter bus driver.
Well, it's not, it doesn't lay out like that, and I'm gonna get kind of weedy, but we don't just line up and everybody gets on the bus until the bus is full. If you're working, because this pad that we're building this project on is 1 mile by 1.5 miles. So if you work on this side, you better get on the right bus that's gonna take you to where you work, or you're walking over 1 mile.
I totally understand that. My friend is transporting people at Micron right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, so it's not maximizing every seat in the bus, but it's getting every butt in the right bus. We can get more buses.
Okay, but what about, why not 10 more? 40 people on a bus.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And that bus makes 3 stops, so everybody knows that's where they go on that bus. I mean, yeah, it's just logistics.
Yes, sir.
I know you put, numbers on the buses or on.
Oh, they're numbered. The buses are numbered.
I know the buses are numbered, but what about the pickups and stuff that are running?
Yeah,
back and
the company cars, labeling them is easy. The people's personal cars, is a different deal. We'll look into that, but we have once already and got pushback from the unions, but we'll take another look.
forth? And also, can you, mandate, where they have to take the bus, where their own vehicle?
We can, but we have to add those hours in on their salary, so instead of it being a benefit, now it's being paid for. So when you're talking 2,000 people, an extra 2 hours a day, it becomes a very, very expensive proposition.
So, and then the guys that are driving out, Tim, the guys that are driving out in a personal car, they have to park in a parking lot and then you pick them up with a bus out there to take them to their respective place?
Yes, ma'am.
That seems time constraints,
That's not ideal.
not at all.
Well, I'll be honest with you, if I worked for you, I'd be sitting on my butt on the bus every
Me
day.
too. There's no
That
question.
extra 2 hours of freaking sit
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and I leave early, going out at about 4:35 every day. The bus is a benefit, it's a benefit,
Yeah.
yeah. Danica, what's on your mind?
I was just gonna say, there's been times where I've come up, like, when to Orovada, where I'll start keeping track of who's passing me. And then there's a couple times where it's like, it's 10 plus vehicles, I'm like, well, if I'm by myself, there's no way to keep track of that many, makes, models.
Yeah.
You should buy everybody in Orovada cash.
All we're saying is the more detail you can give us, the better. But if 10 cars go blowing by, call Maria and tell her, say, right now, 10 cars just went blown by, and we can't have that. That's information that probably it's hard to do anything about it, but when somebody comes up on you and is behind you and we can identify that car, we can act on that. And Gene sent us some situations where bus was not operating well. We looked into it, and they looked at the camera footage, and we can do that kind of stuff.
Hey, NDOT is gonna be working on 95 this summer.
Yeah.
How is that gonna impact your, hydrax and all of that stuff?
Yeah, they called us and they told us about that project, and we're trying to get that pushed a little bit. They said we could delay, or we could delay it to next year. We're still gonna have traffic next year. So if they delay it to next year, we would have to pay the incremental increase. And so if they're gonna do it, we prefer they do it this year. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Yes, sir.
Something that would be helpful is probably more directed at the sheriff's office, but it's not just your drivers, other drivers on 95, if they had some unmarked cars that, particularly when you get off a shift and these 10 people are passing, if some of these people started getting tickets,
Yeah.
they would be tending to slow down a lot more.
No, we totally agree. So that's why I think it's 2 nights. Do you happen to know? I think it's 2 nights a week. We're paying for more patrolling in this area for that very reason. We need the word to get out that if you're misbehaving, you're going to get ticketed.
Yeah, I guess the problem is if there's a police car parked there, everybody between here and Winnemucca is going to know about it.
Yeah, you want to
So
get.
when I do a patrol out there, I usually get at least 3, if not 4, in one shift coming out.
I bet.
No, believe it or not, nobody's in a hurry to go to work. We were having guys do it in the morning shift, and I was like, this is an absolute waste of time. Because nobody's in a hurry to get to work, but everybody's in a hurry to get to the store, grab whatever fattening food they're gonna eat, and then head on back to the workforce hub. With that said, Lithium has a contract with our office to patrol more often. Unfortunately, we're down about a dozen people, so that's not getting done very much. Until last week, I was the only person up here and having to cover in town, so it wasn't getting done even more. So, something we're working on our end, because nobody wants to be a cop anymore. I don't blame them. There's some things that didn't go so well the last 6 years that I wouldn't want to be a cop either, but fortunately I'm close to the end, so that's okay. But nonetheless, I'm trying to get guys up here when I can. It just doesn't always happen.
Kyle,
Yes.
I've got a question. Can you
right?
This is easy, you don't have to spin around, all you gotta do is get up. And the Simplot gate's another place, it's gravel, and I don't care if you spin out, I'm like, just use that crosswalk and go for it.
All right, fair enough.
And you'll have some happy tickets.
All right, Sue. I
Thank you,
guess I'll
guys.
run this bad boy.
Thank you for hosting tonight. So if you like pull over four guys,
Yeah,
are you telling them?
I tell Captain Wilkin, whose wife just so happens to work for Bechtel, and she's passing it on to me.
Can we get a more official, like, pipeline of information there?
Like are you thinking like a monthly report to Lithium of,
No.
hey, like this is the kind of.
I'm thinking like daily,
Yeah, like quicker that way,
yeah,
something's done about it.
yeah, can you
Could we
like,
set up a Facebook site that we can make mug shots in the households?
No, we're not allowed to do that in case they want to go ahead.
No,
What about like the contractors, like back the other day, I watched them at Shell, they had a sticker on the side of his truck, and he got out and tore him off and threw him in his back seat.
That was the guy.
They're not stickers, they're like the magnet. What did you do? Tore him off and threw him in his back seat. Are the decals even doing this?
Does, did you see what the magnet said?
I can't honestly remember, it was blue with a word across, he tore him off so fast, I'm like, you know, that's kinda odd.
That is not odd, it's very appropriate, but
I was just curious.
but can we set up something where,
Yeah.
like,
It's
hey,
absolutely.
whoa,
no question.
chill.
No, I'm
Like you tell Lithium Americas directly,
like call Maria
yes,
and be like, hey, this is Kyle, here's the deal.
yeah, say, hey, I pulled over four of them, here they are.
I would have to pass that through some other channels to make sure that that's something I can do, because there's a lot of things with,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that I can't just share with certain people, you know, but I don't think it should be a problem, but I will let you know.
okay, thank you.
If anybody wants to come down to my Strauss stack on Friday afternoon, I'll supply beer, and you can sit there and watch the shit show.
what kind of beer?
I gotta have a previous appointment because I don't drink anymore. But maybe if you're sitting there, Ken, it'll make them crack your pants. You know, shaving's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, it works, and,
Yeah, we could set up a lot of things over there, like you sit on and just
yeah,
sit there and take pictures and.
I gotta watch my beer. Anything else? It seems like we've come to an end, but if I'm wrong, please speak up. Thanks, everybody, for coming. See you next time.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
So you live right in the.
What?
My number?
Wait, no.
Oh.
What did you say about the fencing?